Hi everyone, welcome to Entrepreneurs Mind Mastery Series. My name is Maggie and I'll be your host today. Today we're discussing how the stress response and how our survival mode works in our mind and in our bodies. This is an extremely important process for you to understand. So before we get started, if you can please take a moment to subscribe to our channel and take a look at the link in the description below, where you'll find the latest issue of the Entrepreneur's Life Show magazine, filled with inspirational entrepreneurs and knowledge to help you on your journey as an entrepreneur. So let's get started with today's show. Anxiety, panic, doubt, lack of self-confidence, depression, and a host of other emotions are stresses that are the root of every state of illness, and it affects every part of our being, emotionally, physically, and psychologically. Now imagine being a soldier on the front line of war. He needs that stress response in his body in order to have the energy to fight. The actual thought of having the life and death experience puts his entire physiology into a state of red alert. This response is an important part of everyone's physiological makeup. Stress allows you to meet challenges. It allows you to push yourself into areas of experience and understanding. It heightens your awareness and it helps you focus and concentrate. So all of this would actually be fine if you were at war. However, the stress that most of us are dealing with is actually distress that comes from the accumulation of pressures from a multiple of different sources and smaller issues in our lives. Even though the incidences may seem harmless, but your response becomes increasingly stressful and you cannot maintain a balance, then the body will read those responses as a life-threatening episode and it will send a red alert to your brain. Now, this stress response is activated when you are unable to adjust your behavior to deal with the demanding circumstances. You need to change the way you use your normal coping mechanisms, and you become more fearful, you feel more overwhelmed, and you feel out of control. Circumstances can be simple yet complicated. Stress affects every single part of your body, your mind, your emotions, and it causes between 70 to 80% of all illnesses. The stress response is a reaction that prepares your body to respond to the stresses. And as discussed last week, the previous week actually in our episodes, it all begins in the hypothalamus, the small part of the limbic system in the brain that deals with emotions and feelings. This area also monitors your nervous system, the digestion, your heart rate, your blood pressure, as well as your breathing. Your brain goes into red alert. It releases hormones like adrenaline and cortisol and other hormones that affect the system. The hormones shut down the digestive system just to conserve energy in the body. But it also increases your heart rate so that it can increase energy. And it suppresses the sensation of feelings. So actually what you get is when you get hurt or you get injured, you still keep fighting or running if you have to. So it increases the rate of your breathing as well. So these systems affect every part of your body. But now, what happens to the body when the stress response is experienced without any means of expression or actual danger or injury? How does your digestive system cope with being suppressed maybe once or twice a day? Is it so difficult to believe that ulcers or irritable bowel syndrome is connected to high stress levels? You can also get constipation, diarrhea, and loss of appetite. What happens to you when you have the urge to scream, the urge to lash out at someone, or to find release from tension? Is it surprising that marriages suffer, that alcohol and food addictions are rising, or that mental exhaustion leads to depression and breakdown? Some of the stress symptoms include digestive disorders, ulcers, heartburn, indigestion, headaches, blood pressure, palpitations, breathing problems. You start to overeat. You have insomnia. You have exhaustion, backache, muscle ache, rashes. You have nervous disorders where people start twitching, grinding their teeth, picking at their skin. So you also have cortisol, which suppresses the immune system. So all immune deficient illnesses, from the common cold to cancer, can be directly and or indirectly caused by stress. So when stress increases, your body mind is unable to adapt adequately, and it causes you to overreact to issues. You lose perspective on your priorities. You get muddled up, disorganized, or you become increasingly depressed, or you may even rant and rave for no apparent reason. I'm sure we know a couple of people that do that. So most importantly, you start feeling as if you're out of control. You start to criticize your own actions, your worthiness. You cause feelings of hopelessness within yourself. When the stress response continues over a period of time, you begin to experience more serious problems. You start to present with increased anxiety and panic, irritability and frustration, irrational outbursts of hostility, power and manipulation issues, fear and insecurity. You have rapid mood changes, restlessness, nervousness. You may even have sexual problems, addictive behavior, memory loss, paranoia, confusion, as well as impaired performance, concentration, and efficiency. The hormones that circulate in your system causes the numbing feeling of your feelings. So you may not be aware that you're actually getting stressed. So if you were that soldier in the battlefield, you would probably feel very grateful that you're feeling numb. But under normal circumstances, you are still experiencing the stress, but without experiencing the feeling or the result until way later, when you probably collapse. Okay? So you are also out of touch with your own feelings, which causes serious relationship issues. So few of us think of ourselves as stressed. Some of us think that stress doesn't happen to us, it happens to others only. Or we try to put it aside as if, nothing is happening. Remember that we all respond very differently to circumstances and stress. A divorce may be high on the list of stresses for some people, but yet it may be a welcome of relief to another. So the differences lie in the way you respond or your response. So although you have little or no control over the circumstances of the stresses you're dealing with, you do, however, have control over your understanding of the situation and how you react to it. So, in other words, the real cause of stress is not the external circumstance, such as having too many demands or not enough time to fill them. The real cause is your perception of the circumstances, whether that is fearful, overwhelming, or challenging perceptions. It is your perception of your ability to cope. So if you stretch beyond what you're capable of, your perceptions come from your inner belief system about yourself. What you have come to believe you are capable of due to what you've been taught or told in your childhood years or later on in life. For instance, if you were raised to believe that you were good at certain things but not so good at others, so when you're confronted with things that you believe you are not good at, you will experience a lack of confidence and the inability to cope. So what you believe will color your every thought, your word, and your action. How you respond to your perceptions can be true or false. Therefore, we refer to them as just beliefs. In other words, believing that your work, family, or lifestyle is causing you stress and that you can only stop it or change it, then only you'll be fine, then that is seeing a situation from a very different perspective. Rather, it is the belief that something out there is causing your stress, is causing the stress. So although changing the circumstances may help, it will only be temporary. No matter where you go and what you do, you will stress until there is change within your belief system, and that changes your perception about yourself. So those competitive persons that think that they need stress to perform their work or need stress to succeed in their businesses, well, you're truly mistaken. Stress diminishes your performance rather than boosting it. You are more creative when you are fully relaxed, and you have better energy levels, both body and mind. No wonder there's stress management, that stress management is actually a major part in most forward-thinking businesses. The greatest lesson you can learn from being stressed is that your stress response and develop a higher level of adaptability by changing your perception of yourself. You can change your beliefs, a greater belief in yourself, your capabilities, and the sense of humor. So you don't take everything, including yourself, quite so seriously. You will go a long way towards developing a relaxation response, which normalizes everything the stress response upsets. So I actually do hope you enjoyed today's topic. Thanks for watching. And if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Please subscribe to gain more videos like this, and comment down below on how you manage your stress response. So this is Maggie, and do tune in next week Monday, same time, same place. Bye for now.